Yeah, I'll be, that's where I'll be taking the prize.
Something you want to hand out?
In a matter of moments, there will be.
All right, you get the nice, comfortable seats today.
Thank you.
We're in the chill zone.
You guys are in the sun, so I'm a little bit. Yep, you can sit anywhere in this back.
Probably chilly up there. My recorder's working.
It is a little chilly up here, but that's okay. It's still nice. I know that. That's why we get it done efficiently.
Governor,
Look at you.
long time
All
no
the way
see.
from North Providence.
See you.
You were where? Oh, the animal shelter. Animal shelter, yeah. And I tell you, the Mayor Lombardi was very happy to be there. He told me, very happy because that's his municipal merge.
I know that. I know that. Good point.
The project took a long time. That's okay.
This will work.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Always good. But, huh?
South or?
Yeah, I got this.
We got
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I still have
Real home.
So I go back here. Weekends I stay at the farm.
There you go.
When it's nice out.
We're gonna travel all that might be a good thing.
You'll have to come down sometime.
If they let me out. You don't have to.
Hello, everyone. Can everyone hear me okay? Great. Well, good afternoon, and thank you for coming to the Guild. My name is Jeremy Duffy. I'm co-founder and managing partner, and I'm also a member of the board of the Rhode Island Brewers Guild, which is the state association that now has 38 breweries in the state. We are thrilled to have Governor McKee, Lieutenant Governor Matos, Senator President Ruggiero, Chairwoman McKee, nice to see you, thanks for coming. We have Dale Venturini. We have Commerce Secretary Pryor. We have Liz Petrucci from the Northern Chamber. And we have Jan Rhody from the Foundation. Thank you all for coming today. The Guild of Pawtucket is honored to host this announcement as the subject, Take It Outside program, has truly had a positive effect on us as well as other breweries in the state of Rhode Island. As breweries, along with other retail, we have been significantly affected by this pandemic. The Governor's Office, along with Commerce, right from the beginning, developed innovative programs that would allow our retail environments, our tap rooms, our beer halls, our beer gardens to stay open and keep our employees working. So thank you, Governor, and welcome to the Guild.
Well, thank you so much, Jeremy, and it's great to be here. I just want to point out that these breweries, these locations have created a go-to culture, a new culture of bringing people together in a way that is, is innovative. So thank you for that. Thank you for your investments, and really an important time to bring people together. So you and other members of the Guild are really providing not only an economic service, but also a cultural one and a time to bring people together. So thank you so much. I know you work at it every single day. As a small business owner myself, I know that it's not been easy, and that's why we're here today, is to make sure that we continue to make the investments that matter in terms of making sure that we sustain the momentum that Secretary Pryor will always tell you about, and I'm proud of the fact that we are leading the Northeast in the economic recovery, and we are in the top anywhere from 3 to 7, I think, over the last several months in the country. And we want to sustain that. And sustaining that is so important that we invest in the right way as we create that sustainability. Because at some point in time, things will slow. At some point in time, the money will dry up to a certain degree. So how we invest those dollars today not only are important about what happens today, but it's important what happens 10 years down the line. Because we no longer want to be that state that is first in and last out of economic downturns. We don't want to see that anymore. But if we invest the dollars today in a way that protects our economy, we never have to be there again. So that's what we want to do. So I want to recognize our Lieutenant Governor, who's here and has been, a really strong advocate for all the economic issues we're doing. President Ruggiero, thank you so much again. We were just in North Providence together, but it really bears repeating. The outreach and during coming into office during what is considered one of the biggest crises that the state has ever had, and under a state of emergency that we have never seen probably since the Great Depression or the Civil War, it has been so important for the state of Rhode Island that you were able to step up and really, give me guidance and bring me into the fold as we try to make these great things happen. So, Senate President, thank you so much. Chairman McKee as well. Secretary Pryor, Dale Venturini from the Rhode Island Hospitality Association. In fact, take it outside could have your brand name on it, right? It could be the Venturini Take It Outside program, supported by these great leaders that are here today. Liz Catucci of Northern Rhode Island Chamber as well. Jane Rhody from the Foundation, Pawtucket Foundation. I was with you this morning as well. And Gary Richardson from the Rhode Island Brewers Guild. They all have been strong champions for our small businesses community. And I want to thank them for being here today. Last Friday, I ended, I didn't end my week, but I ended the week on Federal Hill, kicking off the al fresco dining season with some of the best restaurants our state has to offer. Today, I'm beginning a new week with an exciting announcement for our businesses as we get together and get ready for our warmer weather and our great fall season that'll be coming. I'm very proud to announce that our administration is awarding over $4.5 million to Take It Outside grants to local partners, all to help our local businesses thrive. This is an extraordinary number, all provided through American Rescue Plan dollars that I propose as part of the Rhode Island Rebounds plan. And I want to thank the House leadership, the Speaker, the Senate President, from our General Assembly for passing that Rebounds package so quickly in the beginning of the session. These Take It Outside funds will support outdoor activities for small businesses, allowing them to invest in things like outdoor chairs, tables, heat lamps, tents, and much more. All the amenities that make it comfortable for customers and people to come and support our local businesses. For example, we're awarding $208,000 to the Rhode Island Brewers Guild to support small businesses, including Rhode Island taproom breweries, by providing grants to purchase tables, umbrellas, and other supplies. Dale Venturini from Rhode Island Hospitality Association is here. The association has been a tremendous partner in getting these funds out in the community. We're awarding the association up to $637,000 to work with the hospitality businesses across the state to help them purchase supplies to encourage outdoor activities. In fact, all the organizations represented here today are part of the list of over 20 Take It Outside grant recipients. So I want to congratulate them all. It does not happen without support from our senators and our reps. I see Rep. Taban out there, Senator Costa out there. I want to thank them for being here today as well and supporting Pawtucket the way you do. Rhode Island has economic momentum. And as we come out of the pandemic, we can't take our foot off the gas, as I said before. We are investing today for the future of the state of Rhode Island. The investments we make today, my budget reflects that. It's about jobs. It's about economy. It's about supporting our businesses along with education, along with, certainly addressing the needs that are here, in front of us in the state of Rhode Island. But let's be smart. about the way that we invest these dollars. That's why I proposed a budget that helps continue the economic momentum in the short term and also invest in the long term. The budget includes things like our small business budget article, which proposed cutting the corporate minimum tax and works to make it easier to do business here in Rhode Island. And we can do that every year. We can balance the budget. We can put an article in to help our small businesses so that money's not a factor, and then we can invest in our small businesses. And incrementally, over the years, we will make sure that Rhode Island is a small business-friendly state. I want to thank Chairwoman McKee and the Senate for passing a number of the small business-friendly bills already included, making alcohol to go permanent and enabling businesses to continue to take it outside. Thank you very much, Rep. You showed great leadership. I was down in Narragansett at Mulchi's with you signing that last year, right? So, there are 39 cities and towns, and we want to make sure that each and every one benefits from the investments that we're going to make here today as well. With a strong and steady emphasis on small businesses, I'm excited for where we can head our state. And it will take all of us continuing working on these issues together to get there. So let's celebrate today, and let's keep it going. And with that, I want to turn the mic over to Lieutenant Governor Sabina Matos, who's a really strong supporter of our small businesses, and it's reflected in the work that you did, Governor, on the Rhode Island 2030 plan. So thank you so much for your leadership.
Thank you. Thank you, Governor. I also would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge Senate President Ruggiero, all of your hard work and supporting the budget initiative for ensuring that we have funding allocated for the small business community. And I have to say that the Chairwoman McKee, you are a leader, making sure that the small business get the resources that they need. And you are at the forefront, always advocating, as the conversation we were having earlier with Dale Venturini. Thank you for everything that you did. Thanks. Senator Acosta is here. Thank you for the support. And Rep. Tobon, who is also a small business owner. He's really understands the challenges that the small business community goes through. Thank you for everything that you do. While I was in Providence, we were able to put resources for small business community. And I was so glad to see here also Kerry Saslow from the Providence Revolving Fund, because we were able to put funding into the small business community to make sure that they were able to continue to have their doors open during the pandemic, to make sure that they make the different changes, necessary adjustments that they needed to make in order to keep their doors open. And that makes a huge difference. These grants are going to make a huge difference also in every business community moving forward. And I just want to say thank you to every organization that is participating and making sure that the funds go out to the community. I also want to say that sometimes we take for granted what the contributions on the small grants makes for the community. These small grants make a huge impact. Sometimes the small businesses have challenges just to make sure that they can get a lamp outside in order to have extend their business outside, buy tables to have it outside. And that wouldn't be possible if it wasn't because of these small grants and small loans that allow them to use the resources for that, because they already have a lot of challenges trying to make payroll and take care of the day-to-day activities that they are normally responsible for. But I have to say that that doesn't happen if you don't have the partnership in the General Assembly of leaders that understand the importance of the small business community, the importance of making sure that Rhode Island continue to be as strong in the recovery. As you're going to hear from Secretary Pryor, we are #1 in New England, and we are 4th in the nation in the recovery, and that happens thanks to the leadership of the House and the Senate. And it's truly my honor to introduce the Senate President, Dominic Ruggiero, here to you. Thank you, Senate President, for your support.
Thank you very much, Governor. I appreciate your kind remarks, and I certainly want to recognize the presence of one of my colleagues, Senator Jonathan Acosta, who's been a big advocate for small business and also for the breweries in his district and in Pawtucket. As the governor said, we've done a lot for the business community, and it's been difficult. It's been a difficult 2 years trying to figure out where this virus is going and trying to adapt to it. But it's been challenging, but it's also been rewarding. So we have some members up there, and the governor alluded to the Rhode Island Recover program and also to the Take It Outside program. These have been two absolutely successful programs that we're going to continue to work with over time, because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But and I always look back. I was in the restaurant business. My family was in the restaurant business. It's a tough business for openers. Never mind with the pandemic and the way people had to adapt. So I want to commend everyone for the great job that they've done, the way people have adapted, the way people have worked. And I know it's difficult right now. It's difficult to find help. It's challenging, but I think that will address itself in the very near future. So I want to thank everyone for being here. Governor, I want to thank you, and Lieutenant Governor, I want to thank you for the work that you do and for working very closely with the Senate. These are tough times, but they're not times that we can't adapt and overcome. So I want to thank everyone for being here. I want to thank my colleagues in the General Assembly, because, as I tell everyone, I work with absolutely wonderful people, and they do a great job. And sometimes I get the credit when they should be getting the credit, but they're there every day and working and trying to figure out what's going on. Obviously, we have a lot of money that came in from the federal government. As my colleague in the House, my counterpart in the House, Speaker Sakachi says, we have $1 billion and we got $14 billion worth of requests. So we're going to have to figure that out. As the governor said, we can't go ahead and spend every single dime we have, because we don't know how the economy is going to rebound in the future. So we have to be prudent, and that's what the Senate is looking to do. But I want to thank everyone for coming here today and for the support that you've given this. And, this is a perfect example of repurposing buildings, older buildings, especially in Pawtucket, where many of these buildings were built many years ago. And I know there are a lot of breweries that have come that have opened up in Pawtucket, and it's become sort of a cottage industry. So I hope it keeps going, and I think this grant is going to help in a long way. So thank you all very much. Thank you for your time and attention, and have a great day and stay safe. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Chairwoman Carol Hagan McEntee, who is here representing the House of Representatives, also represented the Speaker, and she's a huge advocate of what goes on in places like this. So, Carol, please come up and say a couple words.
Thank you, Senate President Ruggiero, and thank you, Governor and Lieutenant Governor. It is my pleasure to be here. Yes, I am Carol Hagan McEntee. I'm a representative from Narragansett and South Kingstown, and I am chairwoman of the House Small Business Committee. I'm also, as the governor said, was the prime sponsor of H7095, which was signed into law by the governor this year on February 16th. And last year, I believe in April, sometime in April. But that legislation is crucial to what we're doing here today, because what it did is it extended the moratorium on the enforcement of zoning ordinances that were prohibitive and expensive for businesses to seek out in order to take their businesses outside. So I want to thank the governor and the Senate President for being involved in that bill and making sure we got it over the finish line. And the Take It Outside program has helped so many of our restaurants weather the brutal storm of COVID-19, and it proved to be a hit with the public as well. And we know this pandemic is not over. We're always in a state of flux when it comes to this. But today's announcement of the $4.2 million in grants through the Rhode Island Rebound program will help with the costs of outdoor dining, and is crucial for the support of our small businesses, who truly serve as the backbone of our economy. I could tell you in Narragansett and South Kingstown, we use it quite frequently. I mean, we're all outside, and it's good for us, and it's good for the businesses, and it's one of the ways that they've been able to make it through this difficult time. So they've been very creative, as you all know. We have igloos at the Coast Guard House and many places up this way. We have dining in parking lots. We have tents. We have heaters. So it's really good that we're extending this, and it's good that there's more money to provide for all of these businesses. So this has been one of the highlights, one of the few highlights of the pandemic, that we're all eating outside, and we're making it a positive thing in Rhode Island. I see it everywhere. Like the governor said, Federal Hill, you see it in East Greenwich, Newport. Everyone is embracing outdoor dining, as we should. So today's announcement is a win for our restaurants, our customers, and our communities, and for all of us. And I'm looking forward to continuing to dine outside, especially now that the weather is good. So thank you all for having me, and I want to recognize my colleague, Representative Carlos Tubone, and his daughter. Hi, Carlos. Anyway, thank you for having me, and everybody eat and drink and shop local. Thank you. Next is Commerce Secretary Stefan Fryer.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. Really appreciate it. And Representative, we're so impressed with your commitment, Chair McEntee, to this idea, and it really makes a difference. So thank you so very much. I truly believe that the Take It Outside program embodies what has been so effective about the Rhode Island response to COVID. Under the leadership of the past two governors, with tremendous emphasis from Governor McKee and Lieutenant Governor Matos, the idea has been that we must maintain the strongest public health conditions, and we must invest in business, especially our smallest businesses. If we can do those two things, Rhode Island will prosper. In fact, we will emerge from the pandemic with strength. This program embodies those things. When we have brainstormed under Governor McKee with the health department, we in Commerce have, yes, aimed to create programs that will undergird small businesses, even as we are required to undertake some amount of restriction and as we remove those restrictions. Yes, small business grants are absolutely essential. Yes, we have pushed in under Governor McKee to vaccinate at a rate that is at the top of the nation, among the best states in the whole country. We also need to create the kinds of conditions that enable consumers to do their part, to safely head out and engage in commerce, dine outdoors, shop outdoors, and can maintain foot traffic that will sustain these small businesses, and that's what Take It Outside does. But we can't rest on our laurels. Yes, we have one of the best vaccination rates in the country. We're so proud of it. And under this governor, we also have one of the strongest economic recoveries in the whole country. By the way, while we're in the top tier, we don't say this in a way that wishes ill upon them, but Massachusetts is 48th in the country on the list of 50 states, according to Moody's. New York is 50th in the country, while we're in the top tier for our economic recovery. But we cannot take our recovery for granted, and that's why we need to keep taking it outside. We cannot take our recovery for granted because we know that new variants can arrive and that new doubts within consumer confidence can arise. So we need to have outdoor heaters. We need to have outdoor furniture. We need to have, Dale Venturini, those blankets that you are so wisely providing. Bring your own blanket. All of these measures in place to keep the economy going no matter what comes. And that's what Rhode Island has distinguished itself doing. So Governor McKee and Lieutenant Governor Matos, we're so grateful for these resources. Awards are in the range of $10,000 to $650,000. We are awarding a total of $4.8 million to eligible proposers. There are 21 awardees today. And we're so grateful. Jeremy Duffy You've done an amazing job here at the Guild. Commerce, by the way, is a proud investor in the project itself. In addition, the Brewers Guild itself, as you heard from the governor, is being awarded $208,000. The Pawtucket Foundation, Jan Rhody, $101,200. The Rhode Island Hospitality Association, $638,000. Liz, we're so amazingly impressed with all of your work, Liz Catucci, $247,500 for these measures that will enable us to ensure we're not taking the recovery for granted and we are taking it outside. The beneficiaries of the program must have, that is to say, the ultimate small business beneficiaries of these intermediaries as they use these resources must have less than $1 million in annual gross revenue, and they must demonstrate a negative impact from COVID. At least 20% of the funds awarded to small businesses involved will be reserved for minority business enterprises. And we're so proud of the fact that now, with these awards occurring, we're seeing millions of dollars go out on the street. There's already been over 100 intermediary organizations awarded in past rounds. This is how we're going to ensure that we truly stay ahead of any conditions that are arising. Senate President Ruggiero, we are so grateful for your stalwart support, as we are for the speakers in making this happen. Speaker Shekarshi has been likewise so committed to these endeavors. And I want to also note, Representative Tabone was here. Maybe he stepped away. He is a brainstorming partner beyond being a supporter. Senator Acosta, amazing support for all of these endeavors. And I also want to point out Simon Gudebe is here from the Governor and Commerce team. Pastor Chris, so impressed and grateful for your work. And Hannah Moore is our Assistant Secretary in Commerce. So I'm extending my remarks a little bit, if you'll permit. But Hannah Moore is keeping everything going and taking nothing for granted as we take it outside. So thank you, Hannah Moore, for all of your incredibly hard work. Governor McKee, Lieutenant Governor Matos, thank you for enabling all of these resources to head out and to keep us ahead of the curve. And with that said, I have the pleasure of introducing someone who has become a dear friend and incredible partner. We used to talk every single day. We were just joking about the fact that that's fallen off. You know what? That's a fantastic sign, because conditions are a little bit better. But we are going to keep investing all the way through until we're all the way out of the pandemic. Dale Venturini is the amazing president and CEO of the Rhode Island Hospitality Association. Dale.
Well, it's overwhelming. Your news, when you released it, took my breath away earlier on the grant that we were able to get. But Jeremy, thank you. You are the epitome of Take It Outside. I'm from Pawtucket, all of you, so it's near and dear. I remember the factories that were here, so it is amazing to me that we can be outside of this beautiful facility. If I were getting married again, I would use the barn. He's got 50 weddings already scheduled, so if you need a wedding facility, get to him pretty quickly. Governor McKee, I don't even know what to say. Thank you. Thank you a million times over. Lieutenant Governor Matos, always there. Thank you again. Senate President, you understand our industry. You were in it, so you know how hard it is. Of course, the Speaker of the House, I know he couldn't be here today. Chairwoman McKee, McKee, look at this, look at that. I told you my breath was taken away. Chairwoman McKee has been a champion for our industry. She worked so hard, as already been stated, on the extension of our Take It Outside legislation. It is so meaningful for people to be able to go outside and have everything taken care of so that they can do their work versus having to get all the extensions. You know, it was mentioned before, if there is a silver lining to be found in the challenges of the last 2 years, it's the Take It Outside program. As part of this program, Rhode Island businesses have been able to build out amazing outdoor spaces for dining, events, and programming. The customers love it. The businesses love it. The health officials love it. And it's a truly win-win situation. We have embraced the concept from the very beginning when we launched our BYO blanket campaign in the fall of 2020. And as we continue to navigate this recovery, it makes sense that our businesses continue to be given the tools that they need to be successful. Those tools are the grant programs that now we are going to be able to give to people as they apply. So everyone, watch your emails, watch your social media. We will have the application program up and running very quickly after today. And we'll be happy to provide you with, the tools that you need in order to continue this successful program. It's exactly what our industry needs. A little sunshine, or maybe a lot of sunshine, to prepare for our successful summer. Now I'd like to introduce my friend, my co-partner in crime sometimes, Liz Catucci, the president of the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you so much. It's not easy to follow Dale. I like to call her the salt to my pepper. So grateful, always grateful for her support. The distribution of these grant funds in the northern part of the state is so greatly needed. As the largest chamber geographically in Rhode Island, we're going to make every effort to assist our business community with this grant. Our first round of funding was extremely successful, and the chamber was able to assist dozens of small business owners. So we are just so grateful to the governor for his continued support, the lieutenant governor for her continued support, as well as the Senate president who was with me this morning talking small business. Very grateful for your support, and Chairwoman McEntee. Thank you so much. And I can't forget Stephen Pryor, Commerce Secretary. Stephen dealt with, how many phone calls, Stephen? How often do I bug you about these grants and needs? Okay. Does that equal the amount of dollars you're giving? Is that how that works? We are just so grateful, and we're thrilled to be able to support not only our members but the business community as a whole in Northern Rhode Island. And now it's my pleasure to introduce my other counterpart, Jan Rhody. Jan's the executive director from the Pawtucket Foundation, and I'm thrilled to introduce her.
Thanks, Liz. I am super excited to be here and have received this award, and I am really appreciative to our very forward-thinking leadership at the state level. Thank you all very, very much. So what the Pawtucket Foundation has long done is support small business. How could we not? We support Pawtucket. Pawtucket is more than 3/4 small businesses. It is an absolute essential component to the city. And within that small business sector, there are two areas that have been most impacted. One is obviously restaurants and beverage, and the other is arts and culture. So what we're doing with our Take It Outside funds is to support both of those. Pawtucket has started to become, has long been known for arts and culture, and a very diverse mix of types of arts and culture. And it is becoming more and more of a destination for the beverage industry. We're sitting here in the middle of a gorgeous campus, and what I'd ask you to do is envision, as Jeremy just gave me that wonderful vision, a beautiful, gorgeous wedding tent right here on this campus. So that's what we're doing with our Take It Outside fund. We are making event leaders out of some of our small businesses. So, for example, we have some Latin music teachers. We are asking them to bring some of their classes outside and bring some entertainment. Think of drumming on Main Street. We have the Art Festival in September. We want to bring that year-round, and certainly during the Take It Outside months. What we want is the train station across the street and the soccer stadium down the river to have in the middle between those two great projects wonderful things for people to do. So thank you all for these funds. We plan to use them well.
Why is it that among 21 entities receiving grants, 7 are cities and towns, directly to cities and towns? What is it the cities and towns can do that these other organizations can't do?
Stephen, I think I'll put the answer in the positive, which is we made eligible intermediary nonprofit organizations as well as cities and towns to make sure that whatever organization close to the ground that can deliver for small businesses can actually avail themselves of the resources. It's an application-based process. Both categories were eligible, nonprofits and municipalities, and we selected those that could get the job done.
Besides getting these funds.
Commerce decides, but I'll speak as a mayor. as a former mayor, we know our small businesses, right? And in the local community. So dollars invested not in the organizations that were here represented today, with hospitality and the foundation and others, but local communities know their small businesses better than virtually anybody else can. But I'll let Stefan answer the question in terms of how they got there. I just support the fact that we are providing some funding to our local communities because they do know the small businesses. They know they got their feet on the ground.
They're all pass-throughs, right? They're all passing the money through. It's not like it's going to the city or town.
It depends upon the particular case. It can be that the organization or municipality purchases for distribution the goods, or it could be that they make sub-grants to the individual businesses. It depends upon what they applied for and what was approved. Both versions. So each awardee has to finalize its agreement with us, which hopefully will happen very rapidly, and then it's up to the organization on the timetable that they think makes sense for the season to get the goods or the monies out. So it'll be over the course of the spring and summer, and then the activities can continue using those goods even into the winter, of course. Yes. Our funds are not dependent upon approximately the fiscal year is a good way to think about it, but it's not that these funds are limited to one year or the other on either fiscal or calendar year. We want to get these monies out rapidly in the months in front of us. That's all there is to it. Straight up.
Two separate questions. Will the nonprofits and/or the municipalities be able to charge any type of administrative charge? If you could answer that, then I've got a separate question.
Yes, there are administrative fees that can be taken up by the recipient.
And so there's been frustration from the communities that, particularly in the terms of the large nonprofits, it's sort of the usual suspects. What's being done in terms of equity in order to move some of this management process perhaps into the smaller nonprofits who, quite frankly, could use the money?
I think what you see, Pat, with this particular set of awards is that we have 21 entities across the state that are now stepping up. This has grown from a smaller program where only the most able and capable organizations really were in a position to start in the earlier pandemic, in the earliest of our rounds to get the job done. Now I think you see blossoming the capacity across the whole state. So we're always committed to that. I will note also that there have been efforts in parallel with all of our programs. There are efforts to ensure that there are intermediary groups that are just providing technical assistance out in the field to small businesses, and we've ensured that we're reaching out through chambers, including chambers and associations represented right here today, as well as organizations that work with the Black business community, the Hispanic business community, women-owned businesses. So we've taken steps that were deliberate and proactive around that.
One final question. Will there be, particularly as we reach endemic status as opposed to pandemic status, will there be a report issued by the state showing which individual small businesses have received how much? Again, there's frustration out there, and it's ill-defined, and it's perhaps a product of difficult times that certain usual suspects always seem to be front of the line.
It's a legitimate concern at all times that the very businesses who are the most vulnerable and maybe haven't stepped up because of their bandwidth or because of their familiarity to join a chamber of commerce. I know Liz, by the way, does incredible outreach, for example. So does Dale. So does the whole array. But it's always a challenge to reach out yet further. So we're always working with yet new organizations who can do that. I will say this, though, for this round of funding, one of the things that we're doing is, in the best method we can across organizations, tracking which businesses are the recipients so that we can do some backwards-looking lessons learned, some post-mortem. So, God forbid we experience another pandemic, but going forward we can evaluate what we can do to outstretch even more, so we're doing that. Thank you. Is there perhaps one more question? In the back.
Hi, my name is Alexis Schutte. I'm a city councilor in Pawtucket Ward 4. Thank you so much for being here. I have a question related to some news that came out a couple weeks ago from DEM saying that there was an issue with the Woonsocket sewage facility and cleanup in the Blackstone and it making its way down to Pawtucket. And I was just wondering if you had any updates just for the fact that these businesses do use that water, just making sure that everything is clear in that end.
Sounds like Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. Please take, oh, Ray. Thank you, Ray. Yeah, that's why we have allied ourselves with a series of organizations that work with all of our programs on outreach, including the Black community, the Latino community, including multiple organizations. We very much do. We very much do. We're issuing translations in multiple languages of all of our materials through Commerce for all of our programs. But it's honestly, it's not the case that any of us can simply rest upon our laurels and say it's enough. Each time we should be building upon our success, but also reaching out more. So that's why you see 21 organizations this time, and our efforts have become ever more proactive. Let's keep doing better together, including, frankly, the media, to help us get the word out. Thank you very much, and everyone, take it outside. Please take it outside. Enjoy the day.